Keys for Boise State in this game is definitely going to be Joe Southwick, the new quarterback who's coming in to replace the legend at Boise State Kellen Moore, a guy who won 50 games, only lost about 2 or 3 games in his whole college career. So just imagine the pressure that he has, especially of coming in, of replacing somebody like Kellen Moore. But can he be? Is he going to be the guy that makes Boise State fall off the map? And yes, it's not going to be his just him himself, but as the quarterback, he's going to take that responsibility. And he was he was very underrated coming out of recruiting. I saw a couple of games that he did play in high school. Some of his high school film, I liked them. A lot of Pac-12 teams I think were going after him, and Boise State somehow got him. So that's going to be one key. How does he play in this game, a big game, first game of the season, and how does he keep Boise State going on that roll, or is he the reason why Boise State starts to come down and become Boise State that we think they really are, and just another mid-major team who just had a special quarterback. Moving on, my next key for them is going to be DJ Harper. He's replacing Doug Martin, first round running back who went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. This past coming draft, his ability to run the football is going to be key. Keeping Joe Southwick in those situations, those third and manageable situations, him being able to get 3 to 4 yards of carry, and getting them in the 3rd and 3 or 32 situation, so it can be easier for Joe to manage that. DJ Harper is definitely going to be a senior guy, a leader, so he's a guy that they're definitely going to look for that offense, and expect him to get a lot of carries in this first game. Another key is going to be being able to contain Michigan's run game. Michigan State's run game. Michigan State has a mammoth offensive line, one of the best offensive lines in the conference, along with one of the best backs in the conference in Le'Veon Bell. And I think that Boise State losing all four guys starters last year to graduation is definitely going to hurt that team. It's going to see what those new guys are going to do, stepping up those 4 new guys. So that's going to be a major key for them. How are they going to be able to stop Michigan State's run game, which is very, very good in my opinion. Players to watch out for in this game are going to be Mitch Burrows, the receiver, DJ Harper, like I explained from before, and the defensive tackle Michael Atkinson. Atkinson's one of the new guys coming up as a defensive tackle position, 300 pounds, but they like him because he's fast and he's very athletic. So we're going to see what that happens there. Keys for Michigan State is, like I said, being able to run the football behind that mammoth line, and Le'Veon Bell, one of the best backs in the country. 6'2", 240-pound running back. Guy has speed, power, balance, one of the best backs in the country, like I've already said. His ability to break long runs, or just being able to wear defense down with his running ability is really going to help. Is going to really help out. My second key, which is going to be Andrew Maxwell, who was also just like Joe Southwick, is replacing a guy in Kirk Cousins who broke every record there, quarterback-wise, offensive-wise, for Michigan State. So him coming in, Andrew, the coaches love him. They think he has potential. They have potential to be better than Kirk Cousins. So Andrew Maxwell is going to be a guy that you're going to have to really look out for in this game. And I think they're going to try to get him in some third and manageable situations and make him not try to do too much. So that's going to be key. And the third key for him is going to be on the defensive side of the ball, is getting pressure on Joe Southwick. I think that's going to be key for the Michigan State Wolverines. You have a guy, William Golson, who's a freak. I think he's going to have a monster of a season this year. One of the most underrated defensive players in the country as well. I think he's a tremendous pass rusher, long, and just a guy that I think is a top 15 pick coming out of the draft if he comes out this year. Now, my players to watch out for the Michigan State Spartans are going to be Le'Veon Bell, William Golson, and shutdown corner Johnny Adams. Johnny Adams is a guy who I really liked even going into last year. I think he was their best defensive back. He's a shutdown corner, about 5'11", 6 foot. He's a guy that could just blanket you. He could take away one half of the field, so that's going to be good for them. One big key in this game is definitely going to be the quarterback play. Whichever quarterback's going to be able to help their team being efficient in the red zone, being efficient on third downs. That's definitely going to be a key for this game, and probably a major outcome of who wins this game. The underrated value factor in this game, I would say, is going to be Boise State's preparation. As everybody knows, Boise State's one of the best, if not the best, team that prepares. So, always the knock on Boise State is You always want to get Boise State in the middle of the season. You don't want to get them in the beginning of the season as a first game or a bowl game, because they know how to prepare, and Coach Peterson knows how to prepare for those type of games. So that's going to be something that can really help out Boise State, in my opinion. And a difference maker in this matchup, I think, is going to be the defense of Michigan State. Like I told you before, guys like Golston and Adams, those guys, those elite NFL guys, are really going to help out a lot. So I got Michigan in this game. I think they're going to pull away early. I think they're going to pull away a little bit late in the fourth quarter, but I think I'll take Michigan by 2 touchdowns in this game. Moving on to my next game, big game, SEC, Auburn and Clemson. Start off with Auburn's keys for the game. It's going to be Kyle Frazier, the sophomore quarterback coming in next year, the guy who was supposed to replace Cameron Newton, a guy who knows this offense, ran it in high school. So getting him in some winnable situations, manageable situations like any young quarterback you want to, being able to use his feet as well just to get him comfortable in the game is going to be key for them. Another key is how's that young offensive line going to block. They're starting 2 freshmen on the offensive line, and I think two other top players are sophomores. Also, not having your top lineman who's a center not in the game is really going to hurt that team a lot. Another key is going to be being able to get in pressure and containing Taj Boyd. Taj Boyd, one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC, a guy who can use his legs, a guy who has a tremendous arm, and being able to contain him and wrapping him up and getting him down, because he's a stocky kid, about 6 foot, but he's a guy that's stocky and he's hard to bring down. So he's definitely going to be a guy that they're really going to have to eye on, contain on. But the players to watch out for in this game for Auburn is going to be Quan Bray, plays a little bit of running back, wide receiver, kick returner, punt returner. Corey Lenamere, a guy who I think is a premier pass rusher in the SEC, a guy who is another NFL guy who I think is going to be a first rounder. And Phil Lutzenkirchen, a guy who plays the H-back position, tight end position, a guy who's a safety blanket for the quarterback, the shortest hands on the team, and he's a guy, if none of the outside guys are open, he always finds a way just to get open and make a play. So look out for him. He should be something that should help out. Moving on to Clemson. Clemson's keys are who's going to step up and replace the production at Sammy Watkins, All-American, all-freshman, one of the best receivers in the country, being suspended for 2 games. Who's going to be that guy to step up and bring that production that Sammy was going to bring in this game? Another key is definitely going to be balancing with the run. Andre Ellington's back, being able to run the football with either Taj Boyd or Ellington is going to be key. Keeping a guy like Corey Lenamere or a guy like Gabe Wright, just keep them from pitting their ears back and going after your quarterback. So being able to keep them off balance, keep them on their heels is definitely going to be a key for them. And I'd say another key for this Clemson team is expectations. Nobody expected to do what they did last year, getting to the Orange Bowl, even though they did get thrashed by West Virginia. But now they had the bullet on their back. They had the bullseye on their back, like the cliche said. How do they respond to these expectations? Dabo Swinney got a new contract. This Sammy Watkins isn't a secret anymore. This defense is going to be better. That's not a secret anymore. You have Brent Venables, who came forward from Oklahoma, your defensive coordinator. He's a great coach. There's going to be expectations, and how do they handle that? And the players to watch out for, I think, in this game is going to be Sharon Peake, a guy who is going to step in and replace Sammy Watkins, the fastest guy on the team, I believe. They said he ran a 4.24 in camp, so you can take that as really fast. Andre Ellington, the running back, and Stephon Anthony, the linebacker, the young linebacker, sophomore they got last year. He's a special guy. And also, I don't know if he's healthy or not to play, but Tony Stewart is another guy to look out for. My one big key in this game is for the defense to limit the explosive plays. These are 2 explosive offenses, spread offenses, who love the explosive plays, love the big plays. So whichever defense can limit that is really going to help their chance to win. Underrated is going to be turnovers with explosive plays. There's a lot of chance balls, a lot of 50-50 balls. If you can catch an interception and stop a team's momentum, that will be great. And I think the difference maker in this game is going to be special teams. You got 2 very good special team units on the field, especially kick and punt return. You got special guys back there that could do great stuff with the ball in their hands, so we're going to see what they can do there. I'm picking Auburn in the upset. I think just because that Auburn is going to be better defensively than they were last year, and Sammy Watkins not going to be there. They're all big-time playmaker for Clemson is really going to hurt them, and I think Clemson's going to lose this game by, I'd say, by probably about a field goal to a touchdown. Moving on to the big game of the night, Michigan against Alabama. Crimson Tide, defending champs. Keys for Michigan in this game is going to be Denard Robinson's ability to throw the ball accurately. Everybody knows every year, you know about Shoelace, his dynamic running ability. Now, this is his time. He has the big stage. This is going to be one of his big Heisman moments against the defending champions on a big stage, Saturday night, showing your arm, showing your ability to throw the football as well as being able to run. That's going to be key just to keep the Alabama defense, I mean, that man blitzing and the man pressure that they like to send, it's really going to help see how he does in that. Another key is going to be their top running back, Fitzgerald Toussaint. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Is he suspended for this game? I think they're going to try to wait till the last minute and make the decision. But I don't think it's going to be big if or not they make the decision. But if he does play, if not, it's going to hurt them. If it does, it is going to help their running game out tremendously because he's their best running back. And the last key for Michigan is going to be their run defense, how they're going to play. Alabama loves to run the ball a lot, and I think that Michigan is a little bit slim up front in their front seven. So Michigan be able to run the foot. How can they contain Michigan's rush offense? Players to watch out for in this game: wide receiver Roy Roundtree, defensive end Craig Rowe, and William Campbell, defensive tackle. Those two guys, the defensive linemen, are going to have to be key in this game to contain Alabama. Alabama keys for this game is finding an outside playmaker. The same struggles they had last year. They haven't had an outside guy since Julio Jones, so that's going to be key for them. Another one is forcing Denard Robinson to throw the ball. Like I said, get him in those 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 8 situations where you could send those crazy blitz packages, those pressures on him, and force him to make a mistake and throw the ball in tight windows. And containing Denard Robinson is definitely going to be another one. Like I said, since the fact that you have your DB's backs are towards the defender, it's good towards the quarterback. It's going to be hard for them. So being able to contain it with your front 7 guys or your front 3 guys is going to be key. Players to watch out for Alabama is going to be DeAndrew White, the speedy wide receiver. C.J. Mosley, I think their most athletic linebacker. When it comes, he's a guy that you see a lot on nickel pressure, on nickel packages. And Jesse Williams, the big time, I think 1st, 2nd round type nose tackle that they're going to have. Jesse Williams is probably the strongest player in the country, and I think that his ability to push the pocket and free up those linebackers, those little linebackers, is going to be key in this game. The one big key is going to be field position in this game, especially with a defensive-minded team as the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's going to be key. An underrated factor in this game is the Michigan skill players. I've been saying all along that the Michigan skill players right now, maybe not in November if they were playing this game, or December, but right now, I think the Michigan Wolverines skill players, Roundtree, Gallen, Vincent Smith, Toussaint if he plays, those guys, those outside guys, those running backs, tight ends, and wide receivers are better than the Michigan's than Alabama's secondary right now, because they're just young and they haven't had game reps. So that's going to be big, and I think the difference maker in this game is going to be Alabama's offensive defensive line depth, because I think that Michigan is going to wear out in the 4th quarter because of the depth that Alabama is going to bring up, the wave of talent that they have and on the offense and defensive line. With that being said, I think it's going to be a closer game than people expect, but I think Alabama pulls away and wins by 10. So those are my three games to watch out for. I got Alabama winning by 10. I got Michigan State winning by about 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, and I have Auburn winning a close game. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll definitely talk to you later. All right.